I didn't deserve to get fired. It was out of the blue. I thought I was doing really good. They didn't like it, and there was no communication. So literally from that moment, the last paycheck I got is the money that started Y'all Sweet Tea.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the Simply Winning Podcast. This is season 2, episode 13. We have a really, really exciting guest. He is personally one of my favorite clients we have and get to work with, and just what they stand for, their brand, their brand tastes good. We have Darien Craig on here today. Yep. Let's go.
Y'all Sweet Tea, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
Let's freaking go.
Yeah,
he
man.
drove up, literally, I think you just got in, right?
Yeah, literally just drove straight.
Yeah. He's like, I'm coming to Nashville on Thursday. Let's set up something. I'm like, we want you on the podcast. So here we are. And I would stay tuned. This is going to be packed with his journey, business stuff, all the way from fishing to growing this huge company, his family, business advice, and then us working together and what that looks like. So if you guys want an actual client on the podcast to see how he gets creative, how we get creative, and go through the processes, it's going to be good. And it's probably going to be long, so buckle up.
Yeah.
Maybe get some popcorn, get some Y'all Sweet Tea.
Some Y'all Sweet Tea,
yeah.
some popcorn.
Which, speaking of Y'all Sweet Tea, hold on here.
Oh, no. Uh-oh, what just happened? This wasn't planned or anything. Not planned at all. No, Hunter wasn't here cooking up.
Oh, we got a pitcher ready. We got new jars somewhere?
Let's go. I'm actually excited because
There we go.
I will be the first one to say I really haven't been in
We
the
got
studio.
ice in the jars already.
I already got this all prepped.
Let's go.
Here, you know what?
What a way to get this thing started.
We're going to throw the water back here.
Yep.
So we didn't have the new jars until you brought a bigger case.
Yep.
So one of you can have one of these.
Okay.
I'm going to have the bigger jar.
Yep.
Here, you can have the bigger jar.
Okay, I'll take the big jar.
These are limited edition.
Yeah.
And these are true to your heart. I read
And
on
they
the
just
back.
came in today, dude. So I wanted to come up earlier and just like spend time in Nashville. Let's appreciate this pour real quick though.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Look at that. Hear that crackling ice?
Now, we'll be honest. I don't know. I just dumped sugar in here.
So what flavor is
I
this?
did follow the
We don't
instructions.
know.
So this is, I guess we'll see. When
Yeah,
we
don't
taste
say
it.
anything. 'Cause I
Honestly,
kind of want to
wanna
guess.
see
Let's do
what- I want to see what he's going to know what it is.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, he already knows, probably. He smelled it. Yo.
I guess I should have poured you first.
Oh, no, it's all good. I'll just...
So we're gonna get
Marcus
cheers.
actually drinks out of this jar like on every podcast.
I saw that.
Yeah, this is my...
I saw that.
This is
We're
my
gonna
favorite
get
jar.
cheers to get this thing started.
All right,
Let's do
cheers,
this.
boys.
Yeah.
Let's go.
There we go.
Cheers.
There we go.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's see what it is.
Like a shot. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's good. I don't know if there's enough sugar in there for you.
Well, that's good. That's really good.
You know which one it is?
It's definitely a flavor. To me, it doesn't have a lot of sugar at all, so that's throwing
I
it
know.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. I can put more in there.
No, we're
So
good.
this is, I don't know. I made this. The
Okay, it's
OG.
regular. It's
This is
regular.
your most popular,
Yeah.
correct? So this is your most popular product. And
what it
honestly,
says.
because these aren't actually the real flavors in here, I believe.
No, those are
yeah.
staged.
So what happens is we get them all in advance. He only has a limited edition. So he sends us these sealed with just regular tea. And we get like 1 or 2 packs of the flavors that you guys approved.
Because we're like, I think it's kind of cool to even fire the podcast off with, but we're a small business. Like we can't afford to spend, basically it's $100,000 to launch a new flavor between the inventory and the packaging and all that stuff. So like we can't just sit on that for months ahead of time, which puts a little pressure on y'all because it's like, hey, we're launching this on Monday. It's Wednesday.
Good luck.
But at least you tell us, I guess. So like we know what's going to come in. We know we have to turn around quick, but at least we like can plan ahead of what we're going to do.
At least book off some time.
Exactly.
You don't have the product in yet, but at least like we know.
My
And we've
wife loves your brand,
Yeah.
which she does a lot of the like set design and stuff for this. She
Yeah.
gets super excited about y'all. And so she like has everything ordered, everything ready to go, the like got the mood board and stuff, and then we get the product and we just get to work.
Yeah, that's
But,
exciting. You can tell she's got passion for it because it's not just random stuff put together.
Yeah.
No, the
And-
sets
Yeah.
have been like
The sets have been
amazing.
pristine.
Yeah, because I've been on a few of the shoots, but the last one you guys just did, I think we were in Tampa and I saw like a story or something. I was like, where was I at? I wasn't in Tampa. It was this trip before that. I don't know, somewhere else. But
One of the
I saw
trips that we
like
go
the little
Yeah, the whole setup of
Yeah,
strawberry.
little.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, the pool, like the
pool.
splash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
that was
strawberries.
like next level.
Yeah.
Wow, that looks amazing.
Yeah. Well, she's like, splash, like let's incorporate this stuff. And we actually sent it to you. He approved it.
Yeah.
So we got a Slack channel where we send everything, and if we need anything last minute, I'll call her, text Darien just because we need it.
And actually, you have a podcast as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're like the most relaxed guest I can tell already on the podcast because you have the experience in it for sure.
Yeah.
So I guess I should have had more sugar.
I mean, so it's good. Either
I
way.
actually like this.
Yeah, I like it too. I
Yeah.
like it light. I mean, it's a good mix up. I think we drink it heavy, but we, a lot of times it's with a meal, and it like goes really well with a meal, having a real heavy, lot of sugar. But I love a light tea. I mean, cutting grass and you come in and have this, like something light, dude. I love
That's the most manly thing ever.
Yeah.
You cut the grass, go in there and get some iced
what we
tea.
grew
Let's
up
go.
on. It's like reminds me of Pawpaw being a kid. Like that's how I just got started on sweet tea. Is like Pawpaw come in and have this huge cup of sweet tea and like
Yeah.
Dude, I was gonna say so how did he even like a sweet tea is like a very it's all over the place.
Yeah.
But how did you think about starting a company with it? Did you just enjoy it?
Oh man, we're gonna go back. So
Yeah,
let's
I'm gonna say
I would say that's a good
where do we
story.
want to start
Okay.
from?
let's go way back. And
go
again,
back.
we're gonna get into the business stuff,
Yeah.
but we want to get into his story because
Yeah.
that's why he's here.
Yeah.
Yep.
We can talk about business stuff all day long. We want to go way back, and I don't know how far back you want to go. I don't know if you just want to. You used to be a professional angler, and then you manage like social media and all this stuff. So where do you want to start in this journey?
I'll give you a quick rundown.
Okay.
So I wasn't good in school at all. Like I'm not book smart. I can't focus on what's going on in the classroom. I never was. Like very early. I don't know if I should be diagnosed with ADD or HD or something, but I've got one of them. I've got one of them. But I just never focused good. And like, so school I didn't like, but I like learned entrepreneurship early and I liked it early. So one of the coolest stories, my aunt owned this like art company and she had like 500 blank white medium t-shirts. I was in high school. I just started fishing. I made my own website, DarienCraig.com. And I had these 500 t-shirts, but I'm like a high school kid. We don't have a lot of money. So I traded a local print shop half the inventory. Like you can have 250 shirts if you'll print the other 250 for me because I don't have money to pay you to print them. So he prints like this silhouette of me on the shirt and I take it to school. And I sold all of those shirts for $5 a piece with me setting the hook on a fish. And I did them in red and pink. So the girls could get it or the guys could get it. And like hustled. And it had my signature, my like Reels Today signature on the dead front of it. And me setting the hook on a fish on the back. And I hustled those shirts out of a teacher's classroom. Shout out to Coach Glover. And
that's awesome.
Dude, so I hustled those shirts and like nobody's doing that kind of stuff. Like, so then it's fun because like I'm hustling these shirts. Everybody's like, dude, I got your shirt. Like all these girls were wearing the shirts. Like it was just a fun thing.
Yeah.
Plus I'm like making a pretty good bit of money for a little high school kid. Just like
it was smart too for you to do the girls and the guy shirts.
Yeah.
Because like people
Was that like $2,500?
wouldn't even think about
right?
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so I think the other cool thing was hustle, like the trade of the inventory for the print. Because I didn't have money to print all those shirts. I just had to 250 blank white shirts. I didn't have cash to get those printed.
I guess at 1,500. Sorry. I don't know.
So I just traded the guy, so I think that was kind of cool too. But it started there. Like I noticed early, like that's a lot of people aren't doing that. So that kind of was cool.
Okay.
So I get out of high school fishing and I met a local, like one of the biggest pros there is named Gerald Swindle. And he's like tours all over, a bunch of sponsors, really high paying sponsors. And he kind of took me under his wing and just like I traveled with him. I worked for him full time, just like I was like his assistant, but we would go on the road and like literally I'm waking up in the morning early, backing his boat down into the water so he can go fish for the day. And I just wait on him to get back or just like little stuff for him. But this is like 2013, 2014 when Instagram is just now getting big.
Yeah.
So I'm helping him with pictures and doing some of his social media stuff. But he's such a big name that we would, just being with him, I would meet somebody. And I know y'all like, this is, your story is meeting people with other people.
Exactly.
And just like it's a huge deal. So anyway, I'm with Gerald. He introduces me to someone. Then that someone ends up being a big deal for me. And then I do good work for that person on social. That person introduced me to someone else. And that ends up being a big deal for me. So I networked really well, but it was with a catalyst of like a really big name guy. You'll have a similar story of that in the beginning. But and we would go to these trade shows, like fishing trade shows, and we'd walk up to straight to the president of a company, not the marketing guy, but he would walk to the guy and be like, hey, this is Darien who's been doing all of my blank, blank, blank. He's been killing it for me. I think y'all could use him and at this time, nobody's doing Instagram really well. And especially in fishing, like fishing's an old man, old white guy sport, right? And so it's like this young dude who's working for Gerald is saying he can make our Instagrams cool. Like, I heard about Instagram. My grandson's on it. Let's do that. Yeah, Darien, you can do it. So my passion is in fishing. That's like my family hobby that we always do. My papa will go fishing, but I wasn't good enough at tournament fishing to like be a pro. I'm not nearly as good as Gerald. I love fishing as much as anybody, but I really quickly realized this road life is not for me. There's a lot. Really high divorce rate because you're leaving for 2 or 3, 4 weeks at a time, coming back home. Like,
yeah, that's a long time.
The stories are pretty crazy. Gerald is not. Gerald's like a really good family life. But anyhow, I quickly realized that like fishing tournaments is not for me. But the social media thing is interesting because it's an old man sport in a world where they're really old school marketing. They're years behind where we are right now. Like the stuff that we're doing, they're still years behind. And so I started getting a couple Instagram accounts and doing really well because it was easy back then. Take a picture of a crankbait sitting on a dock, hashtag 100 hashtags, and then the post blows up and the accounts grow. And like
back in the day, yes,
buddy, it
hashtags.
was money. Hashtags were money.
They were.
And I would like search hashtags and just like every hashtag bass fishing post. I would like all of them. And dude, the next day we would have 300 new followers. Well, heck, I did that every single day. I would just like hashtags.
Did you get an auto liker or did you do it all manually?
No, I did every bit of it manually. I didn't know about it. I didn't know
You get a girl about it
like that. I did.
Yeah, I should have done that.
On Twitter, it was huge. I mean,
oh no, I know.
Quick side little note. That's what Colton used to do. He actually would get auto things to tweet and like and retweet other people's stuff, and then he would get a ton of followers, unfollow, and then he would sell the Twitter accounts for like. His friends were making like tens of thousands of dollars.
That's
like
so crazy.
Growing a Twitter account up. Because back in the day, you could get paid like $3,000 for a Twitter post because it actually crazily convert.
Yeah, back then nobody cared really because there was nothing
was a
in
Wild
place
West.
for that. Yeah,
it was, and it was so like if you learned those little hacks quick, even like the manual thing, without even doing that kind of stuff, but like going in like in hashtags, like you would in a week you would gain 1,500 new followers for an account that had 2,000, or I just made their Instagram that had 0. Dude, I'm like a rock star.
Yeah.
And so these accounts, to these guys who are like, oh, I've never seen any of this. And so we're growing really quick. True. And so then like they introduced me to another brand. So now I've got 5 or 6 brands that are paying a couple $100 a month. I just didn't know the money thing. Like I was getting $100 a month, $200 a month. I just didn't know the money part of it. So that gets to like, say 2015-ish. And
you're how old? Sorry.
I'm out of high school.
Okay.
Probably 2020.
But you didn't go to college?
19, 20. I did like 1 semester in college. Then I dropped out.
So we're pretty close in age.
Yeah, I'm 30. I just turned 30.
Okay, so I'm almost 28.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
chill.
I do have full-time jobs throughout the time, like random little full-time jobs, but never liked it. I worked at a print shop and worked at did some social for like a truck company and stuff, but it never really didn't like it. And I got fired from the truck company, like out of, the company that makes the Black Widow truck.
Yeah.
So I worked for them way early, 2014, 2015, and they fired me out of the blue. I was taking really cool GoPro pictures. Everything was GoPro, by the way. GoPro had just got into bass fishing, so every picture I was taking was GoPro pictures. But
that's awesome.
So I'm taking these cool GoPro stuff of these trucks, but they hated it for some reason, fired me out of the blue. And I had a chip on my shoulder ever since then. I'll never buy a Black Widow truck. I loved them. But I was like, I hate these guys. And it just put a chip on my shoulder. I was like, I didn't deserve to get fired. It was out of the blue. I thought I was doing really good. But they didn't like it. And there was no communication. So literally from that moment, the last paycheck I got is the money that started Y'all Sweet Tea. The last paycheck from that truck company.
Wow.
So it was just, that gets to here, but I'll kind of back up just a little bit. So, and this gets like, where does Y'all Sweet Tea get started at? Back in the day, like we just grew up around really good sweet tea. High school, middle school, high school, drinking really good sweet tea.
What was good sweet tea back then?
It was just you didn't know the brand. You didn't know the brand. It was just like my Nana makes good tea. Brandon's mom makes really good sweet tea. So like we're just get done playing basketball all afternoon, pouring sweat.
It was Y'all Sweet Tea before Y'all Sweet Tea.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We drink a whole gallon of tea and like, dude, this is so good. And I can remember saying out loud to Brandon one day, like we're playing basketball. And dude, we should sell your mom's tea. Like this is so good, we could sell it. And it was one of our competitors' brands. And
yeah, that's awesome.
And so anyhow, now it's like I still have that idea way back in the day, and then it just never really. I'm fishing, I'm doing all this cooler stuff. The tea thing like sounds kind of crazy, but then fast forward all the way to the day I get fired. I'm like, what can I do that's on my own? I never want to work for someone ever again. I never want to be dependent on one person ever again because this just crushed me. I have no money and I got fired. And I like had the idea randomly driving home. I was at my Nana's house, and she's a huge inspiration of where the tea company came from. And I was like, what if we did the tea thing and just like go buy tea, like go buy it from Walmart, just a brand off the shelf, buy the sugar off the shelf, and just like find a place to sell it. I like just make tea, put it in a jar and sell it. And there's a big pumpkin patch by us, like right down the road from my Nana's house. And they would have this line all the way down the road. So I was like, I'll just make tea, get a little booth and go sell it at the pumpkin patch. Like, I don't know.
See what happens.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I'm 21 years old and like, let's go for it. So I spent like $300 on the stuff to do that. And dude, the first event, like people were loving it. And so when I had the tea thing, it was like, sweet tea is the most southern beverage there is. What's the most southern word? What's a word that everyone who drinks sweet tea says it or does it? And like I couldn't think of it. And I was like, we say y'all, the word y'all, 1,000 times a day. Everybody does.
I use it a lot.
Every day.
You do use it a lot.
And like,
Yeah.
especially dude in Hayden, like dude, everyone says it like thousands of times a day. I'm like, could we y'all sweet tea? It sounds weird. It sounds way better now. But like y'all sweet tea, it doesn't even have a ring to it, but it's kind of neat. And it just stuck. Like I told a couple people, they liked it. Told Brandon, my wife, like everyone liked it.
It sounds great. It really does.
Now it has a really good ring
It
to
does.
it.
well, now
But
because it means something. Like it's like all
It's a
of
brand.
yours.
It's a
sweet
brand.
tea. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a brand.
Nike,
Exactly.
like, okay, come on, like the
Yeah.
name, but now it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
So
everyone knows.
Yep.
Exactly. So 2015 had the idea, buy all the jars. We go to these events and it starts selling out like crazy. And we did really well, cash money, go into events, set up a tent and tables. We would have 2 or 3 crews out on a Saturday, and basically around Birmingham. We would just go set up at places and sell tea. Like we made it. We had a commercial kitchen and did all the formalities of like how to make tea legally in a commercial kitchen, all that stuff. But it was so dependent on weather and time of year, like seasonal. So there was one year, like May, we were supposed to do so much money because it's hot. Everyone's out at all these festivals. School gets out. It's like everyone's out, but it rained every single Saturday of May. And so, dude, we didn't make any money. And I was like, this isn't going to work. So you can't use social media because like you have to go to these events. The events are a little small. The pickle festival in Coleman, like little tiny stuff, but you might make $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. And if you're doing 2 or 3 of them a weekend, it was cool. So I was like,
so
would say,
it's so
yeah, that
dependent
adds
on
up.
variables.
it's
Like
so many variables,
Yeah.
and we were using high school kids a lot, and like we have a Saturday morning event with Friday night football games, messes that up, and like it was tough. So in 2017, or 2016 or 2017, we just paused the business. Like I don't know what this is going to be one day. The name's awesome, people love it. Like the coolest thing about Y'all Sweet Tea in the beginning was we would sell these jars, this exact same thing, for $8 a jar, $2 refills, and everybody would be walking around with the whole thing. We have these bright yellow straws, and they would all come by us and mock us. Y'all sweet tea, y'all got any of them refills?
I love
Dude,
it.
but it's like
I love it.
that's what we want because they're all mocking us. They're all like, taking pictures. It's called y'all. It's way abnormal to like a random little food truck. So we were definitely a thing. And then you start seeing all these jars walking around a hayfield that's the strawberry festival. Well, now everyone wants to be part of this. It's because you're either walking around with a jar or a canned Coke at a festival. So like everyone wants
Or a
the
good
jar
old beer.
or a good old beer, but everyone
One of the
wants
three.
the jar. So it's like that was really cool. And
well, they'll bring it home too.
they'll bring it home. It's
Yeah.
like so then people come back to the next event. They're like, hey, I got this last weekend at blank and blank. Can y'all do a refill? I'm like, yeah, $2. So that just like the y'all thing just pulled this fun out of people. But there was no dollars match. Like the dollars were really weird because of weather. So I was like, let's pause this. It's not steady enough to make it a full-time thing. Let's just pause this and something big will come of this. And at the time I made this like really neat business plan. I still have it mapped out.
Oh, yeah.
It's really
That's
cool
cool.
that I've got it still. I have all the notebooks from back in the day of like finding pricing and calling these vendors, like whatever festival and the name is. I've got all that stuff still really cool. But we paused the company. And so I just go back into social media, into fishing, and $100 accounts, $200 accounts. And I talked with a guy who said that he was doing the social media for this huge brand, and they're paying him $60,000 a year. And I was like,
Wait, what?
I didn't even think that was I had no clue that was a thing. I'm getting
Yeah.
$1,200 a year. I didn't know 60,000 was even in the ballpark of what it could be. So I started going to my guys like, hey, we got to raise the price up a little bit. something. And they're like, yeah, man, you've been killing it for us for 2 years. Yeah, we'll do 1,000.
So
And you're
so
like,
at this point, you started this thing, but you're still running social media
I was
accounts
still doing
as well.
social media.
Okay.
And it was only a few. Like, it was only 3 or 4 little accounts, and it didn't require a lot. This is just an Instagram day. So, like, you're posting the same thing on Facebook and Instagram, answer messages, comments, search hashtags, and then you're done. So
but I want to say so just so people understand, they basically were not succeeding in the first version of Y'all Sweet Tea, and he humbled himself to go back to where he was with social media. And then now we're about to hear how they came out of this, which again, some of y'all just don't understand that, like, not everything on your first try, especially in business, is going to work out ever. Like, it's almost impossible.
There's a little, I think it's important to know, like, I think you can tell if your thing's going to fail or if it's not going to fail. And I knew that Y'all Sweet Tea would not fail because of the little indicators, which were the y'all got any. That thing is powerful. Like, when we can figure out what to do with that, it's going to be powerful one day. But the dollar, like, this model doesn't work. Everyone's messaging us on Instagram because, like, we'd post a picture at this festival, this cool spread on the stuff, but they would message us from Texas, hey, can you ship us a gallon of tea? Well, dude, how... Like, I'm going to ship you a gallon of liquid tea. It's going to be hot when it gets out there and rotten, and it's going to be $30.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense. So, like, we had to figure out a way to ship this, but I have no clue how to make our own that. Like, I don't know how to do that. And it's easier to find manufacturing now than it was then. Like, there's apps to find manufacturing now that there wasn't back then. And especially tea manufacturing is very difficult. So anyhow, pause the business, go back to the social media thing, hear about the 60 grand, raise our prices up, and it worked. Well, then I just started becoming a name of, like, dude, this kid's killing it on social. And I was working it ended up getting to like 19 brands. I was doing all of social, just me alone.
So were you making around 20K a month managing, or was it a little less?
It ended up being a lot more than that too.
Really?
So, like, the biggest year we did like over 200,000, but it was just me. Like, my wife quit her job, so we did like 230 one year.
Wow. Which managing social media.
Bro, were
you shooting content?
We would schedule out one photo shoot. Here's the cool thing. I aligned it so that, I don't know how much y'all fish, but, like, when you're fishing, you have a rod, a reel, it's got line on it. It's tied to a weight and a hook and a worm. You're wearing a hat and you're wearing a t-shirt. So can I get one of every one of those clients and do one picture that gets every single one of those clients in the same picture? So now I've only got to pay a photographer one day. I'm using a different rod because most company, well, now they do, but, like, back then, the rod company doesn't make worms. And they don't have any hats. They just make fishing rods. And the reel companies just make reels. So I could go get all these accounts, tag them on all the Instagram posts. Now we're doing all these giveaways, like mutual giveaways, these huge tackle packs. And no one was doing that at all. And I learned a ton about social media and ended up, like, being a really big business for just one person, me and my wife. Like, that was awesome for us. And dude, we fished every day. We'd go on the lake. Like, it was an awesome thing. Well, then I'm like, imagine if we could do what I'm doing with social and, like, seeing the turn of social media changing. This is like pre-TikTok. Instagram's still the only, Snapchat was like its thing, but it still wasn't it wasn't Snapchat of today.
Yeah.
And like, let's do that somehow with tea. And all of those years, like the whole time from 2017, and we rekindled everything in 2020. But for those 3 years, I'm, like, writing notes randomly. Like, I'll be in the shower and, like, just have a random idea. Like, what if we did this? And I would, like, immediately get out and just take notes. I'm huge about taking notes as soon as you have them. Because
that's how I wrote down the idea for the worldwide thing. I got out of the shower and wrote it wrote it on Monday.com.
It's the most important thing because, like, you have a good idea in the shower, then you get out of the shower, dry off, go to bed, and you remember you're going to forget that. So it's, like, it's important to get it down on paper so that whenever you get in your creative mood next time, you can go back to that list. And I have a master list of dumb ideas.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, just the most insane stuff. But, like, one day my goal was to tackle that whole list, and there's some random stuff in there. But
all the side quests, bro.
Yeah, all the side. I talked about that last one. Side quests.
Literally my life right now.
So anyhow, these little all the side things starts happening. So then we find the manufacturer for the tea, and that's, like, when the whole thing changed. When we found a manufacturer who says I'll just say the company that we use, they do all of Dunkin' Donuts coffee for the stores and the bags that you see at Walmart.
So you got a legit
Dude, they're the biggest. They're the only company that's bigger than them is Starbucks. So Starbucks is their own. Obviously, they do all of their own coffee. But this company is McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Arby's, the big dogs. So we get a meeting with them, tell them what we're wanting to do. I rebranded the packaging for, like, the look of it now.
So who designed this?
It was all my ideas. I don't know how to do the actual graphic design part on the computer, but I have sketches of all this.
Okay, so basically, they were like, "Hey, we can ship your stuff.
We can make it.
We can make your stuff.
We can make it
to where you can actually scale."
Yeah. So I was like, because in the industry, like there's Lipton Tea, Red Diamond, Louisiana, and then like Walmart has their own brand, Publix has their own brand. We're talking about dry tea bags. So there's not a lot of competition. So like if you're drinking sweet tea, you're really only drinking Lipton, Red Diamond, or Louisiana. So it's like, okay, I like this about this brand. I like that about that brand. And I don't like that brand at all. So like stay away from that flavor. But let's try to like blend these two together almost. And they're like, yeah, that's easy for us. So we did probably 10 rounds of sampling. And like this is just raw. They're mixing tea, sealing it up in bags and sending it to us. And we got one that the coolest day was we had like the final 3. I made all this tea up. My wife, Brandon, and his wife, Carrie, we all blind taste tested. I didn't know which one was which. We had the numbers on the bottom of the cups.
Let me guess, y'all chose the same
Every
one.
single one of us chose the same exact one, which is cool. So that ends up being what it is now.
Wow. So that's the regular.
That's the regular
caffeinated.
Open that bag up so they can see what's inside of it.
Yeah, here we go. So I'll open this bad boy up right here.
It's caffeinated.
So this has 10 perfect batch tea bags.
Yep.
And this is the caffeinated, which is their number 1 seller, which we know because we can see the data.
Yeah. So that's what they came up with. So that's just a filter pack. You put that whole thing in hot water.
Yep.
And the important thing is this. If you make a lot of tea, you know this, but like the other tea brands have these little bitty bags and they have strings with a little piece of paper on the top, and you get a couple of them and you spin them in a thing, tie them in a knot, hang a piece of paper and string out over a hot eye, which has caught on fire a lot of times. And it's like, I don't know how many bags, but let's just make this 1 gallon, 1 bag, put it in there, and it's like easy.
You're saving the planet too.
We're saving the planet. And so the other thing was, we want everyone to make the exact same quality of tea. I don't want someone to go to your house and be like, dude, I had y'all sweet tea at Hunter's house and it was terrible. So we put the recipe on the back of the bag, and that's like the original OG recipe to make. That way, no matter where we're shipping it to, everyone's tea is the same. Yep. And like that's a huge part of it.
That's a good idea. So 4 cups of water to an almost boil, remove it, you put the tea bag in there, steep for 9 minutes with the lid on, fill a gallon pitcher with 4 cups of ice, which
is an
a lot of people
part.
don't. It's an important part because you talk about it holds the flavor.
Yeah, shocks the tea and makes the flavor like tea gets bitter after like 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
And that little step adds 3 or 4 more days to that. It's like a gallon of tea might last you a week and a half or 2 weeks. Okay. And it makes a big difference. So and actually, you know Uncle Si from Duck Dynasty?
Yep.
Yeah.
He did a whole video, non-paid. He talked about how our tea with our recipe is the longest lasting tea he's ever had. Is the best flavor he's ever. Dude, this is non-paid.
So he drinks it.
He just walks around with the.
Dude,
is he buying it or are you just shipping it?
He buys it.
That's awesome. They straight
now,
I didn't know that.
Now we have since sent them a lot of tea, but it's non-paid. He did the thing before we started sending them tea.
Yeah.
And
because that was what he was famous for, was just walking around with the same exact glass.
The cup. They sold the cup. It sold millions.
Dude, it was so crazy that he said that. It was the craziest thing.
Is it on video?
Yeah, it's on their podcast, their Duck Call podcast. Dude, he did a 5-minute straight ad read, but there was no ad. It was non-paid. They weren't trying to pitch us.
So much.
They weren't trying to pitch us. It was just off the cuff. And the other thing was he talked about Georgia Peach, and he says, and you know his like funny old man voice, like his Uncle Si voice. He says, and the best thing I had was I made their peach tea, and the only difference in going out into a peach orchard in the state of Georgia and biting into it is the juice that drips down your beard. And he compared it to our Georgia peach tea. That was his thing.
Can we run that as an ad?
Bro, yes.
We can? What the heck? I didn't even know that was out there.
Yeah, we gotta find
out. My God.
Perry.
Yeah. So anyhow,
whipped up for the podcast.
Yeah.
It's cool. So like that's that part of the step.
After it's done steeping, you take the tea bag out and you pour it over the ice, which is the step you talked about.
Yep.
Add 8 cups of water and almost, or whatever you want to do, but they like it to be similar. 2 cups of sugar, which I don't know if I got exactly 2. I don't even think I got close to 2 cups. I just put a bunch in there because I was trying to hurry. I'm sorry that I didn't follow your steps correctly.
I like it.
And then we also don't like a ton of sugary stuff. So
no, actually, it's
and
perfect.
Pour over ice and enjoy, which we're enjoying. So there's your stuff.
What I do like though about the packaging is like the steps are super easy to like find and to read. I mean, that's like my biggest pet peeve, bro.
Like half the bag on the back.
Yeah.
Like I don't like to read anyway, but whenever I have to like find the directions, I just won't look for them.
And
you know,
it's an inviting, fun bag.
Yeah.
So like when you talk about business and being separate on the shelf, I like it's almost the sour strips approach.
Yeah.
every other imminent, like all of them, they kind of look the same. They're actually switching it up now. But the sour strains,
they're following him.
Their packaging.
Well, I was going to say
they're following
the whole reason was because Max went in there. I was following him from. I'm sure you were too from the very beginning of him starting this company, and he was like very similar to how you were with the sweet tea. There's only a few companies that run the candy business. It's like 4 pretty much. Yeah. And they have like, a few different brands, but it's all kind of the same. And so when he started his stuff, he just wanted to be more outlandish or more.
He talked about
brandable.
the characters, like his characters, what was separated him because he has these mean like sour face, and he's like every other sour candy is a gentle gummy bear. He's like, a gentle gummy bear doesn't look sour. I want this mean, sour looking, like you just ate something sour to be my character.
Yeah.
But talking about the packaging being different. So the 3 big players, Lipton, Red Diamond, Louisiana, they all have the exact same packaging, which is this little like slender box that's shrink wrapped like a pack of cigarettes. It's a real thin thing. And they're all the exact same. So talking about stand on a shelf, the reason we went with that bag is because if we ever get to retail, that looks totally different. So if they're going to buy Lipton, which they've been buying, and they're like, what is this bag? And it says y'all and it's inviting. That gives us a stop. It lets them just pause for a second before they get Lipton. And I think that's a big deal.
Yep.
You just got in the store, or were you already in there? I saw that on your Instagram.
So that was actually the first end cap, like all the flavors, the whole. We're in like 700 stores now.
Oh my!
Yeah, it's
congrats, man.
Yeah, but that was the first like huge allotment of space. Like we normally have 2 pegs or 4 pegs like slots, but that was the whole entire end cap.
And where's that at?
That's at our local Piggly Wiggly. So like it's a big store, and I
love Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah, dude, and it's our like hometown. So dude,
that's so cool.
Doesn't that feel good?
What's the feeling of when you like walk into the store and you see your product inside?
It's the coolest thing. I was just telling them.
Yeah.
With the first time I was in a different town, way far away for a fishing tournament, and walked down the aisle and had no clue we were, because Piggly Wiggly are independently owned. So like you could just buy a Piggly Wiggly or make one, and then it's just your pig. Like that's just how they work.
My pig, son.
I'm sure there's like
not my pig, not my farm.
There's some way to do that, but like they're all independently owned. It's not like Publix where when you get in Publix, you're in 1,000 Publixes. You could just be in one Piggly Wiggly, and so we don't know all the stores. It's hard to get a store list because it's so random. And walk in a random store and you see Y'all Sweet Tea in there. It's like it's the coolest, very cool thing.
So you said you got back from a fishing trip and didn't even know you were going to be in there?
Yeah, I had no clue we were in the store. Like we went to Pig to get groceries, and then like walking on the tea aisle, and we're on that shelf. Like that moment was crazy, and it's still crazy.
I'd be so hyped,
dude. It's the coolest thing ever.
That's awesome. So going back, you formulated everything, packaged it. How did you build your online audience? Because guys, I'm telling you, and we'll get into this on the ad side, which again, this podcast is gonna be long, but their organic following is one of the reasons they're able to be, they're successful, because they have such an organic audience that loves their stuff, that follows them, that engages on social media, and are reoccurring buyers. And they have a brand that they stand for. How did you build that up? So tell us, how did you, again, going back, looking at, you took a product that you formulated, and then now you got to build a brand and sell it, have a store. Bring us through that journey.
So through the fishing thing and through social media, I knew that those other brands, I had done a lot of study just like on what they're doing on social, and it was zero. They weren't making posts. They weren't making any posts. So I was like, no matter how many stores Lipton, Red Diamond, Louisiana are in, if we go to social and we build a website, this bag can ship. That was another reason for the bag. It can ship easier than a box because you can put it in a poly mailer and it's cheap. So like, let's just start on social, build out an e-com store, and then there's so much low-hanging fruit because these people are not doing social media. Let's just take market share out of social and then let the other stuff fall into place. So I just started doing what we were doing on the fishing brands. Like they have pro anglers, so let's get some sort of influencer. We started with like young, pretty Instagram model type girls, and that model was actually a funny story. You know the what's the girl's name that does her husband does the Pookie?
Oh, no way.
Dude, she was one of our first influencers.
Are you serious?
I swear.
Pookie. The video, like the couple, and they do like,
and the guy's like, "What are you wearing tonight, Pookie?"
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him forever.
He's like some rich. Yeah.
But dude, they were one of our first influencers. They were our first 3 influencers. They were one of the first 3.
Wow.
And they just didn't sell anything for us because we don't fit their mold. But anyhow, the next person that we find is Brenda Gant. She has at the time like 3 million or 2 or 3 million followers on Facebook. I slide in her DMs. And buddy, in like a week, less than a week,
ladies DMs.
less than a week, they responded and was like, yeah, let's have a meeting. That sounds cool. So we sent them a bunch of tea, follow up with a meeting, and they're like, well, Brenda liked the tea, or we wouldn't have been having this meeting. So she liked the tea. At this time, we haven't launched yet. They're like, so let me get this straight. You want to compete with these big three using social media, using influencers, but you don't have a big Facebook and you don't have influencers. Like, you're going to have to prove yourself first before we're going to sign with you. So for the first month, I just did the scrappy stuff, like reaching out, see hashtag cooking, and like just doing the scrappy stuff. And we had a little bit of following from back in the day still. So anyhow, we get Brenda Gant, like fast forward to getting Brenda Gant. Dude, it was crazy. The first post she did for us was outrageous. She made fried chicken and said, "This fried chicken washes down good with a glass of y'all sweet tea."
Oh,
and dude, it was me and Brandon were in Jamaica, and it was I got a call from Brenda Gant at like 5 a.m. I'd never talked to her on the phone. It's I don't remember the exact number, but it's like $50 a minute to talk on the phone, and I didn't have a
Oh my gosh.
So, but like I'm taking this call, I don't care. And the next morning she posted it. We did $100,000 her first day.
Oh my,
bro. At the time we had done $15,000 total in the first month. She sold $100,000 that day. So
you didn't have enough product?
At that point, you're like, okay, we have something.
We had nothing, dude. It started. That's a long story, but it started the most grind you could ever imagine. We didn't have enough packaging. The packaging's done in China. The tea's done in the U.S., but you still have to get in line because they have all these huge accounts. Like you're in line behind Chick-fil-A. So like,
get back there, buddy.
Way back there, buddy. And we have no, yeah.
See you in 2 months, buddy.
Yeah, we have no tea, or we had tea, but we didn't have enough. We didn't have packaging. It was like all this stuff. So now I'm getting scrappy and really cool entrepreneur type things. We ran out of packaging, but the packaging guys have a clear bag. It looks exactly like that. It's just nothing on it. So when you put our tea bags inside of a clear bag and zip it up, like technically that's what you bought. The only thing you're missing is the pretty packaging. But well, dude, when that tea shakes up, that bag looks so dusty and nasty in there.
No.
So I was like, we have to do something. I'm going to print out a card. So I printed out the steps on the back, was on one side of the card, and on the other side was a note that I wrote that was like, "Thank you so much for your support. Like, we've sold out. We're working as hard as we can. But we're a small business, and we got sold out." And we just straight up told the truth. Like it wasn't any like,
lying.
I straight up told how it was and had it my signature on the bottom, founder of Y'all Sweet Tea, and put that in every single bag. And we sold like 20,000 of those bags. And I think that's the biggest entrepreneur moment that we had, because it was either shut the company down, like turn the website off because we have nothing to ship, or make these little cards which look terrible, but it's like the most honest truth.
I think that's pretty freaking
dude,
cool.
I think that is what solidified our brand in the beginning, because
so people loved it, I'm guessing.
Dude, they absolutely. And I was doing lives, like I was doing Facebook lives all the time. Like, hey, this is what it is. Here's the corner that the packaging was in, and there's nothing there right now. So it just is what it is.
So did people cancel, or they just love it?
Dude, they love. Some people were frustrated, but dude, they loved it. They're like, baby, they're older women.
Yeah.
So they're like, baby, we got you, baby. You're doing great. Y'all just keep it up.
Shoot, it probably got you more orders,
dude.
Honestly,
it was crazy
because I think supporting you, dude.
I thought that'd be the end of the whole company, and it ended up, I think, being the roots of everything. Mm-hmm. Wow. And then when we came out of that so strong. So like that was in 2021. We got other influencers after we saw how big Brenda was. They're all. They're not like your standard influencer. They're ladies that cook on Facebook, age of 50 to 80, and they have huge followings, and they're really good Christian Southern ladies, and like people you want to be with.
Because those ladies have like the true followings.
Dude, it's like, it's so cool. But anyhow, so that's kind of how we've like built a brand and then just like established after that. But the core of all of it is extreme transparency. We do a lot of Facebook Lives. Like, hey, we're sold. All y'all just ordered raspberry, but we sold out. It'll be in on next Thursday. So we're not doing anything till next Thursday, and we're sorry you have to wait. But we're going to give away 20 bags of peach because we have some in stock. And then they just like, heck yeah, I don't mind waiting. Give me the peach. Like, so, dude, it's like, it's been cool. But the other thing, and this goes back to Max, like we all started buying sour strips because Max. Mm-hmm. Like you wouldn't have known about sour strips if it wasn't if sour strips just popped up on sourstrips.com, there would have been no launch for it. But because Max was always talking about his passion, sharing like his actual story, being the face of his brand, That's why we all bought on his first drops.
Yeah, you would have never caught me in a Target.
You would have never caught
trying
me
to find.
I would have been buying
sour strips. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy now more than ever. The big box candies and stuff, they're still going to win, obviously, in certain areas. But now more than ever, can people take their brand, create a product, and like tea, for example, no one's done what you've done because of the brand, or no one's done in the sour business, or like what Absolutely Ridiculous is doing in the baseball. No one's done that. Like you can go from nothing to something in a relatively short amount of time. If you go into an industry and disrupt the like normal, just been there for years, because there's always time, market cycles, and like people want new stuff and they'll buy that because they've been buying this for so long. They want to switch it up. People like change. And you guys did that at a good time, good people, great tasting tea.
Well, right market too.
Right market.
Yeah.
You knew your target audience because you grew up there.
The other thing too is like, if you want to start a tea company, most of the tea's bought in a grocery store. Good luck going to that. Like good luck. Unless you're Jake Paul, you can't just launch a product and it's in every Walmart. So
literally today,
Brandon bought some yesterday.
Did he? Is it good?
Yeah, I got some. I haven't used it yet.
Wait, what is it?
I'm gonna go to Walmart.
Jake
and get
Paul
it.
started a
W.
deodorant.
Oh, really?
Called W.
He launched it yesterday at every single Walmart.
Or it's called W. Literally.
Yeah, it's called W.
Yeah.
So he says that only winners use it. It's made out of the winning formula, and winners use it.
I'm
And
going
you
there
know
after
that's
this.
going to be on his trunks at the Tyson fight.
100%.
How sick is that?
Well, they even did like the
Wait,
whole
Jake
collab
Paul or
with
Logan Paul?
Jake did.
Jake. Yeah. They were like made like a fake beef with Sugar Sean. Over it.
Dude, it's going to be so cool. But good luck starting and going into that retail. So it's like, if you can't do that, if that's not realistic, what else can you do? You can build a website and ship it yourself, or you can make your own store in your little town. Well, it doesn't make sense in our little town to have a tea shop because that we wouldn't have any sales. So like, let's just sell it and ship it online. So that's
Heck yeah, man.
Ever since then, it's been like a complete rat race, and we've grown. Our main Facebook page is like 135,000 followers, and we never ran any ads. We ran like a month of ads. It didn't work very well, and
now we're gonna get into into some
now
fun.
we're about to turn the needle.
Yeah, how are ads doing now?
Yeah. So the cool thing, we had talked to a lot of people, and a lot of. I'm setting this up for y'all so good right here.
I know. Clip it, Riley. Clip this.
Clip this right here.
Yes, see that camera?
So we had built this audience where we're talking live and we're talking. Just they know everything about us. They know my whole story. My Nana. So my Nana, who the framework of all this company, is in there packing tea. She works for us. My whole family works there. Brandon, like my childhood best friend, he's an owner of the company. He's there. His sister works. Like, so it's a very family thing, and we're showing that and talking about it. So, our Facebook, just like everyone loves our Facebook, and then we turned on. So like we have this huge ball of energy. Our Facebook, we do a live, and it's got thousands of people, 50,000 comments. They're insane.
That's insane.
It's just a ball of energy that we're not doing anything with other than these like random launches or, hey, y'all go buy this blank. But we weren't running ads to them. And every marketing like advisor or other agencies that we talk to is like, dude, when y'all turn on ads, it will be the biggest thing you've ever seen because you have 140,000 organic followers who love you. When you target them the right way, it's going to be huge. The first agency that we did that with, you got a wah over there? Okay.
Well, you actually might actually have one in there, the little buttons.
Don't try it. No. We got to get that on
Don't
there.
green light them. So anyhow, they flopped on it, and they tried really well. I appreciate their time, but then we found Brother Dale.
Oh shoot!
No, so it was
Why did they flop though? What do you think? What happened with that? What was some of the reasons you think?
I don't know.
It's just like bad, like strategy wise, or
I
was it?
think
I think it just wasn't going well, and they had to cut it quick.
we cut it very quick.
Yeah.
They how specific you want me to get?
No, I mean, I don't think
No,
like
we don't
anything
really
like
need that.
mean.
I'll just
I
say
said no.
that I think they. I'll give you an example. One very important thing that y'all have done that was very, I'll say, special to us. That's like it actually means a lot. Is I forget who it was on the call but you start out spending $100 a day. Well, the $100 starts doing its thing, and now let's raise it to $300 a day. Well, like that's a big jump because by the end of the week, that's $2,100. Like that's a lot of money if it's not working in a week. And you think about that for the month, that's $9,000 a month that's going to Brotherdale. Who knows what they're doing? And so y'all make a budget of $300 a day. Well, for a long time, y'all weren't even spending the $300. right? Is you're still spending 150, 180, 210, 180. And then so the ads start doing well. We raise it to 500 a day, but y'all are still spending 300, 320. Y'all didn't just like take advantage of us saying $500 a day. So you're like, hell yeah, crank it up. It's like, let's do this the right way.
Yeah.
And so even recently, clip that.
I love the impressions, bro.
Turn it up,
brother.
Yo, can we take these audios and then put them into that board?
Or at least
Yo,
heck yeah.
We need to make an ad with AJ, like when the brand says you can turn it up to $1,000 a day. He's like, yeah, bro.
So even recently, we gave AJ the green light on $750 a day, and dude, me and Brandon are like, "Hold on, brother, like buckle up, because
brother,
clip that too. Hold on, brother." And like $750 a day is a lot of money to spend on ads.
Yeah,
for us,
you weren't doing anything like a couple months ago.
So like, dude, $750 a day is scary to us. And I had a call with AJ a couple weeks later. We hadn't even spent $750 yet per day because he's still stair-stepping it up. But what I'm getting to all that is, y'all care that every step is like you're valuing our dollars, not just pissing it away.
Yeah.
Where the other agency we worked with, they, as soon as they got the green light, $750 on the penny every single day for forever. And it's like, I don't know how to track that. That's why I'm paying y'all to track it for. And they spent a lot of money very quickly. And
we care and we want to see people grow. And that's just crazy to me. And then we don't take like percentage of the ad spend on our accounts right now. And it's like, so the incentive is we just need to always make sure that our clients are growing and doing better. And that's our retention.
Yeah.
Literally, if you have a contract with a client, cool. It's going to, like, you have a 2-year contract. You know, we have some that are 1, 2 years, 6 month, whatever. There's still going to be a way where like, it's not going to work out, or something where you're not going to work with them for 2 years if you're not doing your thing. So our number one retention tool is literally just going above and beyond and providing more value to them than what they're paying.
Yeah.
And they're going to most likely stay around unless you screw something up or
100%
get canceled or
because
something.
if you're always operating like, I want to make money, it only lasts so long, because then you just burn every relationship, and then that's what happens. If you really want the everybody to win, then hopefully everybody wins, and then it's good.
One thing that Hunter said on the very first call was, we want to be an extension of your brand. And that's a cliche sentence, and a lot of people will say that. But y'all have, and you've said that on almost every podcast when y'all start talking about what Brother Dale does. Also, y'all say Brother Dale as in it's 2 words.
No, it's 1 word, but Brother Dale.
But y'all pause for a second in the middle of that.
Because it was like Brother Dale. It was like Brother Dale. Like, I don't know.
It's kind of, maybe because
I say it a lot quicker. I say Brother Dale.
It should be Brother Dale.
You do, but you say brother in a good way too. Like, you're really good at saying the word brother.
Marcus just goes Brother Dale.
Yeah,
Brother
Marcus
Dale.
says Brother Dale.
He does.
Well, I'm also from like Chicago.
Okay.
So like, I don't know if that
got
plays
him a
into
little
it.
more gangster.
I don't ever say, this is how I hold my pistol when I'm shooting.
Brother Understood.
Yeah.
But
I'm off there hunting, just
extension to
extension of your brand is a cliche thing to say until you act on it, and then we feel that way. And now, like, we're all extremely connected, and y'all say that, but you say that same sentence a lot in podcast when you're talking about what Brother Dale Services. We're an extension of your brand. We're family, whatever. But that's been a big deal. Like, you can tell it's that way every time we have a call, no matter who it's with, what person on the team. Like, they feel that way. Like, they feel like they're in the room beside me in our office is what it feels like. So that's like a really, really cool thing for us, because it hasn't felt that way. It didn't feel that way with the other agency. Like, we're just paying some random dudes to do a bunch of spending.
We care about that a lot.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, you can definitely tell it with the other brands y'all work with. Like, you can tell that same energy is with those other people too.
Yeah, that's the whole goal. Like, when we started it, and like, that's the difference between, like you said, like a marketing agency or some production company, and then like actually building a company that has a brand behind it, and everybody cares about each other in the actual office, but they also care about the clients. And like, when we go out to shoot with people, when we had you in here, when you first came in and all this stuff, like, we want to be able to make great content, have a great conversation, and also like hang out and have a good time. Because that's like the most important thing. That's what gets you, like you said, with networking and all that stuff. You'll meet somebody else, and somebody else, you'll meet somebody else, and it kind of just, snowballs and keeps going. But that's like the 20 like, it's very important to have a good product. 100%.
You have to
have a good product. But then the other 80% of it is also, who are you? How do you operate with them? Like, it's all about the other stuff too. And a lot of people just miss that one part of it. Like, okay, we just gotta have a good product and that's it. But you have to have everything else. And that's a very,
especially I think with social, like, comments. Like, if you're not a good either of those, we've seen good products with companies who do something, the owner gets caught. I mean, last year the crypto thing that happened.
Sam
Bankman-Fried, like this huge company, awesome
FTX.
product, and then the owner's not doing his thing, and then now so you can see a really good product with a bad owner, and it quickly goes downhill. And if you have a bad product, the Facebook comments are going to eat you alive, and you won't make it out. It's like you have to, you definitely have to have both. You definitely have to have both.
Yeah.
And we've seen that too. Like you have so you have to have both. But
I want to go back. So
let's go back.
We only started working together a couple months ago,
Yep.
but we met a couple years ago
Yep.
at an event that Zach Tepperman brought us to.
this
Shout
is
out Zach Tepperman again.
crazy.
He's sneaking around,
He sneaks in every
Sneaks
podcast.
in everything,
He gets a
man.
shout out.
But
Zach's
I'm going to
wild.
be honest. So we've talked about this on the podcast.
Oh, actually, hold on. You mentioned Zach. Congrats, real quick.
I'm talking about how we got there.
Yeah, you got
I know,
that
but-
night. Post last night.
Yeah.
What?
He's engaged.
A quick,
Oh, yeah.
quick
Congratulations.
Yeah, I was just gonna put that in there
I
real fast.
texted him.
Yeah.
I
I
texted
called
him.
him. He called
Okay,
back.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to
No,
the
that's
story.
cool. So Marcus and I and Perry left St. Louis at night filming at SIU, and it's about 5-6 hours from here, depending on traffic and
story.
stopping
This
and
is wild.
stuff. We're super down bad. We get Wendy's. That's the only thing that's open. Perry's not feeling good in the back seat. We drive. I think we get in. I don't get to bed till like 3 a.m. Have to get up at 6 a.m. to then go to the mastermind. But Marcus and I both knew we cannot skip it. It's
said
an
it out loud.
opportunity. We're going to be in the room with people. We don't know where this is going to end up.
Yeah.
And you happen to be there. And I don't think you were there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we didn't
Yeah.
talk much though. I don't think there,
No,
but I think we met
Austin, too.
Austin Gain,
Yeah.
We met
who
Austin,
then we
yeah.
worked with. But then fast forward, like I think 2 years
Yeah.
or so go by, and then I get an email from you,
Yep.
I believe, because
Yep.
then you were talking to Zach about
Yeah, we were
stuff.
working with Zach.
And I actually was on a call with you right here.
Yep.
On the first meeting, it was just me, and we talked about stuff that you were wanting. At first, it was just web stuff and the shooting like creative for your stuff. And then I kind of told you like we're going through this merger, we're gonna have paid ads, something to look into. But I was like, hey, not right now. We'll focus on this
Yeah.
stuff and then maybe get to that.
And on that call, I said no. Like, there's no way we're doing ads because we got burned so bad in the past. And you're like, well, we'll start with this, but I definitely want to talk to you about the ads. That was one of the things you're like,
Because I believe in our team so
Yeah.
much, it's
Yeah.
easy to sell.
and so that was awesome. It definitely worked.
Because we were driving down that time. It was like I don't know, 2 a.m, and we were like, I literally said out loud, like, the best things are the hardest things to get
Yeah.
to. And we were like, you know what, we're just gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
We just woke up, and that was when Perry was only one full time with us then.
Really?
Because Colton was with us, but he was part time because he helped us with the SIU shoot in St. Louis.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, and then you drove back home.
There was no studio really. There was like
No, we were living in the townhouse.
the townhouse, and there was just back.
Crazy.
It's just
Was
crazy
that my
how
aunt and
fast
uncle's?
things.
Was that my
happen.
aunt and uncle's?
Fast things
No,
happen.
Perry was
Your aunt and
down.
uncle's.
Perry was down, I think.
Things
Yeah.
happen so fast, dude.
So fast. I
that-
think people don't understand how fast things can really change if they have a plan and they actually go for
Execute.
it.
Yeah.
Execute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because really, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
For you,
insane.
that was like
It was yesterday.
yesterday, bro. It's nothing.
The craziest thing is when earlier, like in the fall, maybe I forget when that thing was. I think it was in February. It was early in the year, I believe. I think it was
cold for sure. So
it was like early in the year of 2022
After
because we launched in 2021. It was either the fall of 2021 or early 2022. But yeah, it's crazy how fast things happen.
and
That's
2 years ago, were you on
But-
700 stores?
Shoot, no.
In
Shoot,
700
no.
stores? No.
I think the other thing too, it's crazy when you talk about how fast time moves.
Mm-hmm.
If you have, I mean, y'all know as you have a calendar, and you have Peach is launching here, this is launching here, this is launching here. Your time just evaporates because you're not going day by day, you're going launch by launch, and it's like,
It's crazy.
especially with y'all, like
Mm-hmm.
y'all are doing hundreds of launches.
Dude, I feel like there's not, like, you go from there's not enough time in the day to there's not enough time in the week.
Yeah,
yeah.
And now it's starting to feel like
1,000,000%.
there's not enough time in the month.
yeah, 1,000,000%.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, this is literally insane.
Well,
and I'm just thankful we have wives that understand what we're doing, but she understands where we're at right now in the season. And I call my parents all the time. I call them often when I leave here. And they're like, oh, I'm like, what are you doing? They're like, oh, we just got out of the hot tub or we're chilling on the back porch stuff. And they're like, you leaving the office? I'm like, yeah, it's 7:30. I'm going home. And they're like, man, you guys just keep growing. I'm like, yeah, but we're in this season. Like one day, like I'll probably be doing something else, and who knows. But it's just a season of putting in that work.
Well, it's the opportunities here now, and it doesn't last very long.
No.
It's very, very fleeting. So when it's there, you have to take it. And I just watch people like just not take it.
Yeah.
And I hate that. So I was like, I gotta go for it.
Take it.
It also makes me, I don't know, it's a very fun thing. Maybe it's like when you have your chip on your shoulder from getting fired. It's very fun to know that you're working really hard and the majority of people aren't.
Yeah.
And you're really going for your dream and the majority of people aren't. And I just want to win. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Maybe it's competitiveness. I don't know what the exact thing is.
I think it has a lot to do with it. I think sports.
Yeah.
There's a fine, like a thread of sports in all of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like coaches yelling at you is part of this. I think that's like, but now you're the coach and the player.
Watching film inside of the room in college, and you can see yourself mess up, and you get yelled at, and that's like, shoot, you know what I mean?
Dude, I remember the most important, the thing I can remember about Y'all Sweet Tea is like I built the website off of YouTube. Like I will search.
Was it Shopify?
Yeah, how to build a Shopify site and watched a random dude. So then I like have 2 screens pulled up and just start doing what he's doing. That's how I built y'allsweettea.com. And until y'all built the new site, I had done everything on the website.
Oh yeah,
and so
we did build a new website as well.
Yeah, we built the new website, by the way. Shouts out, Brother Dale.
No, I'm not even just saying. I'm just saying like that's how we worked together, and that's what we did.
Yeah,
yeah.
So, but in that, I was like, dude, there's so many late nights. There's like 9 p.m. opening a bang because this has to get done by tomorrow morning. And it's 9 p.m. now, and tomorrow morning's in 7 hours. So somebody's gonna have to figure this out between now and then. And it's me.
Yeah, bro.
Exactly. We were talking about this. It was Saturday. Thankfully, Colton went with me, but we had to go shoot more stuff because there's like more product for a company that we needed to get. And it was a Saturday, and it's like, well, the guys are gone at a wedding, and I mean, I got to go. So I'm going by myself. Yeah. Colton luckily went with me, but many times where we've had to reshoot stuff or do stuff to like just make it right. You know, there's times where we created something and then, or the guys might have, and then we just got to recreate it because it just didn't turn out. And it's just part of the business, name of the game, especially in the creative world, because it's not just sometimes a product that comes out. It's like, oh, it delivered bad or spoiled. You know, that can happen. And that's something that you got to deal with. But for us, it can be like, you know, creative is sometimes, it can be seen by the client in a different way than we created it. So it's sometimes it's like, it's not even really what we did or didn't do. It's just, they didn't like it. So it's like, what do you do in this situation? Cause we did all the freaking hours. What do we usually do? We just freaking reshoot it. Cause I mean, what are you gonna do? Lose the client, lose that money, then they bring someone else in? I mean, there's really not another option. Is what we say a lot. There's no other option. Early
projects, and we were on call. Our call this week was 6 a.m. and 2 days or 3 days in a row, something like that. It was just, you just gotta get. You hit 5 a.m. and you're like, oh, gosh, like, I don't want to get up right now. This sounds terrible. And then you know you're gonna get up, and then you're going until 6 p.m. But you just gotta. I think
too, like knowing. Pretty early on, we knew once we launched this new product, like Y'all Sweet Tea is going to be big one day, way bigger than it is today, even as we sit here. But like back then, it was way smaller than this. Like today, we're living in what I was talking about back then. So I know that right now we're not even at the bottom of the mountain, but knowing that you have something that's so powerful, but if you don't work, it will fall off. No one else is going to do it. So like knowing that too, Brother Dale's going to be huge, so much bigger than what it is now. Y'all know that. Everyone in this room knows that. But it's done that because of all the work that y'all have put in. And it's like those mornings, those like, you post all the time, like you're getting home at midnight, 1 o'clock, and then like you're up the first, like those kind of things. You might not have to do them forever, but we're in the moment where that's built. And it's important, dude. I remember those days from Y'all Sweet Tea. I don't do them as much anymore now, but we definitely still will do them. This morning was one of them, but like back then, cracking a bang at 9 p.m. I know that Y'all Sweet Tea is gonna be huge one day. This is a small piece of why
we're gonna miss these days.
Yeah, dude, you're definitely gonna miss these days.
Imagine with the boys, we gotta 100%. Shoot till midnight tonight. I mean, we're gonna miss that one day, you know.
I
do want to say real quick. Obviously, as owners, you put in more work. There's like admin stuff I got to go do that the team doesn't have to worry about, right? It could be stupid, like setting up payroll and all that, right? But I do have to say, our team, and I'm sure y'all's too, like our team are killers, and if you're not a killer, it just doesn't work out here because of the way we're going, and we're still a startup relatively in the sense of how fast we're growing. We're not the size yet of stabilization and the hours that we're able to put in. You know, we have a killer team, so I do want to shout out. I always like to shout out our team because we couldn't do it without. I want to know, because you were talking about you don't have to as much anymore. So what's your days look like, and what's it like being a father, husband, and business owner? Because you probably had to do that while all this work and growth has went in, right? So
luckily we didn't have Canaan yet. I would not advise that because y'all don't have kids yet.
No, not yet. No.
So tell us something, Marcus?
No.
It would have been a lot harder.
Yeah.
People who have kids and go with that grind, it would be brutal. So your first question was, what is my day like now? Back then, it was every part of the company to, taking the trash out. I was never good at packing tea. My hands were too big to actually pack the tea. So I was never good at that part. But like when they would get the tea packed, get the forklift, and like I'm doing stuff. Now it's not so much anymore. We have we've probably got 15 people on staff now. We're in 2 locations. So Brandon pretty much runs all of the shipping stuff. Anything that has to do with shipping, retail orders or the daily orders that are going out. And Brandon's a COO, so like he's managing employee stuff, operations, and he's really good at it. He has a tenure of it, and he's really good at that. And so that allows me to focus on anything creative, new packaging, new ideas for products, and just like spend a lot of time in a creative space. And then I love that. Like that's definitely my strong suit. Brandon knows that. I know Brandon's strong suit over there. So our partnership's really, really good in that split. But
sweet.
The husband and father thing is different now, dude. Cannon's he turns 2 in a month and a half or so, and he's running around. But in the morning, he's waking up right as I'm leaving, and dude, he'll start crying when you leave. He's like, he knows I'm leaving, so he runs up and like putting his hands on my hips, wants me to pick him up. I squeeze tight, and I'm like, dude, it's hard to leave that.
Yeah,
I'm sure, man.
That part's hard. Hannah's good with it. Hannah loves it. Like, obviously, she wants her us time when we try to get that as much as we can. Of course, she's good with the grind. But now that we have Cannon, it definitely.
So you 8 to 5. Like, what's your typical Monday through Friday hours?
If we're on a busy week, I'm there by 6. If we're on a busy week, 6, and me and Brandon go to the gym at 3
p.m.
p.m. We go to the gym at 3 p.m. So Y'all Sweet Tea ends at 3. Sometimes we'll stay a little later if like something's going on, but normally we're out of there pretty close to 3. And so we'll go to the gym from 3 to 4. A lot of times I'll have a bunch of emails at that time. So then I'll work another hour or 2 when I get home. And then once Cannon goes to bed is when I talk to China. So like all of our stuff, none of the tea comes from China, but like all the jars, the pitchers, we're working on a bunch of other things that are being manufactured in China. So that time you have to work at night because the time difference. So like I'll spend an hour a night usually just messaging with China.
It's kind of nice though at night when you get to work on different things. Nobody's talking to you outside of what you're doing.
Yeah. So I'll spend a couple hours with Hannah, an hour or 2 with Hannah, sit on the couch or whatever, go downstairs and work.
All right, I got a few questions. How many bags of tea do you think you sold?
Do you know
not like the little ones, like the actual like. Get them thinking.
Oh, I have a question too. You might already have this written down.
It's over 500,000.
Wow.
I bet it's over 500,000. It's not 1 million.
Think it'll be 1 million by the end of this year?
Dang,
yes,
I don't know.
Ads,
I don't know how close I am. I don't know.
Okay, but that's impressive. And how many years?
It's over
total.
500,000.
Is that 3, 4? How many years?
We just passed 3 years.
3 years.
3 years and a couple.
Same
months.
with us. April of 2021.
Yeah, April 2021. April 10th, 2021.
Yours is this?
Yeah.
Ours is like April 12th.
No, ours is April 9th.
Is it?
Dead serious. No, it is April 9th. Yours is April 10th?
We launched on April 10th. So, but you go back 2015.
Yeah.
But this product launched Saturday, April 10th, 2021.
Yeah, we got our LLC April 9th, 2021.
That's so crazy.
All right. Got something.
That's actually nuts.
Awesome.
What the heck?
Oh,
I have a question if you want.
Go ahead. I got a few.
You might already have this written down, but how much, y'all Sweet Tea do you drink every week, you think? Like, during the day, like what do you?
During the day, not a lot. Almost every dinner. And then on the weekends, I drink a pretty good bit. But like, I go to the gym. I try to stay in good shape. So like this ain't what you need to do that. And I only like it really sweet. So like when I drink it, it's not good for
They
you.
say tea and coffee stains your teeth. How are they so white?
I don't know.
Just blessed with some good teeth.
Yeah, I used teeth whitening a long time ago, and it made it. I fell asleep with teeth whitening strips on one time. I was like,
Permanently made them
dude,
white.
I guess so, but it ruined my teeth. I can't eat ice cream now.
Oh.
If I got that tea with being cold and I put it in my mouth and
You damage your nerves.
bro, y'all'd see me crazy. I can't.
Would it be worse than that?
I don't know.
What's your favorite tea flavor?
I love the regular tea, just because I grew up on it. But the flavors, I would say probably raspberry.
Raspberry?
My favorite tea.
That's my dad's favorite.
Yeah.
Chad the Legend's favorite
Chad
tea
the
flavor. And by the way, he literally is like, he's not, my mom is a huge tea drinker. It doesn't matter if it's sweet, unsweet, whatever. And she's cut back and done like half and half and stuff. So that way, with her health, because I mean, growing up, dude, I drank so much sweet tea.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, y'all sweet tea, the raspberry flavor is the only one I can just
need
drink.
your dad's address so bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll
send
give it
them
to
a
you.
massive box of stuff.
Oh, Chad would be so freaking happy, bro. Chad's like our biggest
He's the
supporter.
It's crazy.
Chad's
It's
great,
crazy.
bro.
Yeah.
I actually made
we
the name
definitely
up,
need
Chad the
that.
Legend.
Chad the Legend.
Let's get him the new jars and like send him a big box.
I mean, shoot, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
let's
right,
do that.
Chad.
Yeah.
He still listen to the
He
podcast.
he
He'll come out, but he'll get it
loves
before
the
the podcast comes
raspberry,
out.
and he just loves like. There's a lot of brands we work with, but like there's a few that he like really buys into, and it's like Hooked and Tagged, and then like Y'all Sweet Tea is like the two
And it was
biggest
Cardomax.
ones. And it was Cardomax, yeah. We're still great friends with Sean and stuff.
He
They're
had
just-
to get rid of his caffeine tolerance.
Yeah, my
Chad,
dad actually
yeah.
kind of like, he was on Mountain Ops. You know what Mountain Ops
Yeah.
is?
Yep.
He was big into that
Yeah.
because it's outdoors, you
Yeah.
know? And then he was big on the Cardomax, and he's like, man, I'm having too much caffeine. Like you were talking about, way too much. All right, what's your favorite kind of fishing?
Bass fishing.
I was going to say.
Yeah, definitely
Cool.
bass fishing.
You ever been fly fishing?
Not really.
No?
I never really got into it.
It's pretty fun.
I know it's
But
fun.
bass fishing is fun.
Yeah, bass fishing like with a bait caster and like a topwater frog.
Yeah?
So I grew up on I fished Gunnersville a lot. So like the grass on the lake grows up and it mats on top.
That's
so
good for the frog.
You throw a frog on top of it and they just jump through they
beautiful.
blow up through the grass. I
Heck
love
yeah.
that.
That's so cool.
And Hannah also, my wife loves that too, and she's really good at it. So when we got big in fishing, Hannah would go with me all the time. It's hilarious, but Hannah's so good at fishing, and like fishing a topwater frog is pretty hard to do. But she like has this really hard hook set and like drags them through the grass. It's like a real physical thing. Hannah's really good
We
at
need
it.
to come down and go fishing.
Yeah, let's do it.
How far away?
We should.
2.5.
Yeah, he lives on the lake.
Yeah,
That's
So do
dope.
you go fishing quite often? Like
Yeah,
on the
a
weekends
bunch.
and stuff?
we go on the lake pretty much every day. I mean,
Really? Like evening cruises and stuff?
yeah, pretty much every evening.
Yeah, like a pontoon.
Yeah, we have a pontoon, tri-tune, and
Do you have a
y'all, it's Y'all Sweet Teas.
Oh,
So
yeah?
is it wrapped?
Yeah.
Heck
No, it's
yeah.
not
Oh,
wrapped.
we gotta get wrapped.
We can wrap it.
That'd be sick. That'd be some good content.
Yeah, we can wrap it. But no, I sold my bass boat last year. I just didn't fish much with the business, how much it was growing.
Yeah.
Cannon's born. We have the tri-tune, like, and so you can fish off the boat too. So like,
Yeah.
I just sold my bass boat.
Yeah.
But
Do you ever go
People-
here in Nashville? Ever fish?
no, I've never fished in Nashville. Actually.
All right,
What's
we're gonna do it. Let's set it up. Maurice has a boat.
what
my-
lake? What
Percy Priest.
Percy Priest, yeah.
Yeah. My brother has a boat.
Yeah.
There's
People ask us, what are your hobbies outside of work? I like car. He likes
Sleep.
cars and
Yeah.
freaking work out and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when you're going to business and you're trying to go
not a ton of
to
time.
another level, it's like there's not. I mean, you literally don't have much other hobbies,
Yeah.
but you have to love it. So,
I wouldn't even call sleep a hobby anymore because I don't get to do it very much. You know what I'm saying?
so I don't know if they can see it, but you just finished your leg sleeve.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll do more in the future.
I'll probably
Add
do a
on or
little
the
more.
other leg. So far, what's your favorite tattoo? If you want to share, and maybe one of the new ones, and maybe one. What's the
new
one?
one's awesome just because how cool it is. I think my favorite would probably be the Cannon just because it's my son and
Yeah.
I
That's
just think
dope.
that's cool. Their name's spelled this Canon is Cannon, and my son's name is spelled with one N like the camera.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to get a Canon camera on here.
Yeah.
No, that's a good move, actually. Yeah.
But I would say that the new one's just so.
It is cool.
It's just so.
I'm not just
detailed.
saying this. I'm a big fan of
So
like leg
detailed.
tattoos. That is like one of the most unique
I
leg
appreciate
tattoos
it.
I've ever
It's like a mountain.
because it's the
Wait,
fading.
would you say that's?
Yeah. So the scene is obviously a mountain. Also, look how he did the smoke, like the fog
I know.
between the mountains.
It's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
That's so.
What
dude,
mountains are those?
When I was sitting there, I can't tell what that is. Y'all can tell that that's smoke going through this mountain,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't tell that from even sitting right here right now. I can't tell what that looks like. But so when I got,
oh,
I have no clue what he's doing.
Oh,
I
no.
I don't understand why there's a gap there.
You knew what he was making though.
I knew he was making a mountain. I did not know that this was fog. I still looking at it right now, you can't tell upside down that that's fog.
I'm sure.
It just looks weird. And but when I stood up and looked in the mirror, I was like, bro, is that fog? He's like, yeah. And you can tell like there's fog at the top and the peak of the mountain.
The peak's coming out.
Sick.
Dude.
The details.
Imagine, bro, you are a freak.
He was like, did you not want the fog?
It looks like a photo.
I know. It's so crazy.
It's the craziest thing ever.
So it's a mountain. There's trees for the woods, and then the bottom there's a lake and it has a reflection. So that's Mountain Woods Lake, which is the name of the lake that I live on. So I thought it was kind of cool.
That's sick.
Sweet. All right, we got a new drop coming up on Monday, and this is when the podcast is going to be airing.
Oh, sweet.
So is it up here?
No, it's not.
Oh, shoot. I forgot to grab it.
No,
it's in the other studio. I think
strawberry,
half
tea, half lemonade.
You want to grab
we should definitely grab it.
It's in the, not upstairs.
Because we're not live.
It's the strawberry bat. You'll see it. Yeah. So it's launching on Monday, and you're launching these new limited edition. How many of these only?
We have 2,500 cases. So it's like 27,000 jars or something like that.
Okay.
But the last time we launched them, we sold 30,000 in one day.
These are going to sell out.
They'll sell out the first day.
So are they these sizes or the bigger ones?
The big ones. So
the big ones,
what we did, like look on the side of that jar. There's like a little art. That little thing right there.
Yeah.
And then on the jar that Hunter's got, there's a peach basket and it says Orchard Mountain.
Okay.
So my Nana and Pawpaw live in Orchard Mountain Estates is their neighborhood. And the mountain, we call it Orchard Mountain. And when I was growing up, I told the story. It's actually on the bottom of the cases.
Yes,
but
I read it.
I would go get peaches in a basket. And that's where that came from. It's more.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the one.
Strawberry Splash Bash.
Yep. Strawberry Splash Bash is
coming out on Monday.
Yeah, strawberry tea with that, and the half tea, half lemonade.
Yep.
Say it 5 times fast.
I can't.
Half tea, half lemonade.
So we mix those together too.
Bash.
Tell your dad to mix those together. I'm gonna send him everything. But
He will freak
get him
out.
to mix those two together. It's so cool.
Oh wait,
half tea, half lemonade, and strawberry tea together. It's like a strawberry lemonade tea. Dude,
I think you only sent us one packet of this, like to actually brew.
Bro, we don't even have it yet.
Oh really?
It comes in on Monday. We don't have it.
Oh my gosh.
So here's the reason. The co-pack. So we have a co-packer now. We're not packing all the tea in house. Used to, we would have all this done. We're sending all the tea to a co-packer in Decatur. Then they're shipping that all down to
Decatur,
us, Alabama.
We have a Decatur, Illinois, where I kind of grew up.
So anyhow, that adds another layer to the reason we don't have product ever. But
man, this is one of the in-depth, coolest podcasts we've done.
So we're doing two new tea flavors, which is the first time we've ever launched 2 flavors. The jars, which is the first time they'll come out. So touching this really quick, the jars, this is something subtle. To me, it means a lot, but to a lot of people, it's not going to mean anything. Mm-hmm. But the little art on the side of the jar, which is kind of this one? That's kind of the cheesiest one we did because it was the first one. The one that Hunter's got is definitely a lot cooler now. Okay. And the ones that I'm working on right now that are coming up continue to get cooler and cooler. But I want them to be a story about my life or Brandon's life or the life of our company, not just a random. If you get a ball mason jar, like the regular jars we all grew up on, they just have like I don't know if you call it a cornucopia.
Yeah.
You know, like for Thanksgiving, thing.
Yep.
So like they have a little cornucopia on the side with just fruits and vegetables inside of it. It's like maybe to somebody that means something, but for us, I want it to be a peach basket. Like that means something to my family. There's a cool story on the bottom of it. But cool. So then dude, we're selling 30,000. We sold 70,000 of those.
Well, because these are amazing.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I literally drink out of this every day.
We do too. But I appreciate that. So, dude, there's 70,000 of those in the world. Those are going to outlive me and Cannon's kids because there's 70,000 glass shards. Those are going to be around forever, eternity.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And like now that we're going to have this one, I've got 2 more coming that are customs. Like all these are going to be limited edition. Well, dude, in like 5 years, we're going to have all of these one-off random spin-off of jars that I think is going to be so cool to like be able to look back at a collection and like we're not running these ever again. But
that's awesome.
I think it's cool.
I like that.
Well, it's super cool because like no tea brand does this stuff. Like
we're doing all kinds of stuff.
Who's making
tea brand
limited edition?
Who's working on Brother Dale?
Nobody,
bro.
The other thing is kind of here in Nashville. No tea brands have all the flavors that we've got. Some tea brands have some of the flavors, but no tea brands have.
And they're
all
good flavors.
Yeah, they're all good.
People love it.
But dude, it's just crazy. Like to say that we're doing something that no other tea brand is doing. Lipton is not doing what we're doing. They're doing a lot more money than we're doing.
Yeah.
But one day that's going to catch up.
Yeah. I was going to ask, so this might be, probably a loaded question, but what's like your vision for like 5 years from now? Like what's like Darien Craig what do you do in 5 years from now?
Fishing.
Where do you see maybe all the aspects, business, life?
Man, I think the goal now is, so I definitely showed y'all the pie chart where we're like leading the social media thing.
Yeah.
So we're just like really owning the industry on social media engagement, likes, comments, shares. We're 90. If you have us, Lipton, Red Diamond, Louisiana, and Milo's, we own 90% of the engagement
It's a cool
in 2023.
thing.
It's an insane chart. So we're dominating them in one part of business. They're killing us in every other part. But regarding the social media, we're killing them. If we could somehow partner with a bigger force, whether it's venture capital money or one of those brands, imagine how huge the name Y'all Sweet Tea could be if, I'll just use it for an example. Well, I won't say a name. If one of those competitors bought our company, and if their intent was to make our brand the same blend, the same packaging, the same family story, let me still be around, let Brandon still be around, but they can turn on Walmart, turn on Publix, turn on Target, and our distribution goes crazy. I think that would make this thing
like what Coca-Cola does with
$300
other
million company.
It would blow up. Yeah.
That's what I think could happen in 5 years. Maybe it takes longer than that. Who knows? But I see that happening.
I don't know, man. 5 years is
5 years is a long time.
it's fast and it's a long time.
Yeah.
At the same time.
You can do both.
One of your worries when doing ads was actually that it will hurt organic. Have you seen that? I don't think no. Cool.
Yeah. No, because I think you guys set it up so well.
Yeah.
Because your audience is real.
My only, and I'll say that Michael and or Tyler had a really good answer for this. That I just trusted them on it because honestly I disagree, but they have proven themselves right so far. But Nike runs the most ads of anybody. They have the most money. Whatever. Their ads are everywhere. They have all the influencers, all the LeBrons, all the stuff. Their Facebook posts, don't make any, but like they'll get 10 likes, 100 likes, 500 likes, 3 comments, 2 shares. Like they're doing trash numbers, but they're running. If you say the word shoe, you get a Nike ad. If you say the word tennis shoe out loud, you're going to get a Nike ad. So that was my premise on all of it. They have 50 million followers, but they're getting 3 shares. I don't want that to happen. And is that because they're spending so much on ads that they don't care? And Michael and Tyler's answer was they built their social media off of ads. So all of their followers are coming from, obviously they're a huge brand. Like that's not, he's not saying 100%, but like their things built off running ads. And a lot of these big brands are. Y'all built yours off of doing Facebook Lives and posts. So like you have 150,000 real followers who are real people who are there following you because of what y'all are doing, not because they found an ad for shoes. And so that kind of put that into perspective, and I just trusted them with it. And
so far so good.
So far so good.
Yeah.
So like we're just still crossing our fingers, but I think it's proven itself.
Yeah, obviously we don't want that to happen, so we'll keep monitoring it. Yeah. But the last question, because I feel like we've been going, we ask every guest this. So it's called Simply Winning, and we say it on every podcast. But basically, when you're growing a business, you're going to sports, whatever, sometimes the general public think that I'm going to do this one thing, and if this one thing goes right, I'm going to be successful. And that's not the case. I mean, we talked about it for an hour or so on this podcast of had to do this, failed, did this, went back to this, then eventually did this, and we found some success, and then still had to put in a ton of work to get to where we are now and still have a ton of work to do. What do you say you would consider your like simply winning? What is the way you simply have won over the years to get where you're at now?
Y'all grew up around a river? Did y'all ever go to the river when you were kids?
Yeah. Yep.
So when you're crossing the river, like you park and go down this road and you get to the riverbank and the river's flowing past you. I'm talking about one where you can walk across it. And there's something on the other side, rocks you want to get to or whatever's over there. And you walk through this river and you don't know what's below you. There's rocks everywhere. There's really fast current. There's a slippery rock. You can see one sticking up over there. I want to get to that one because there's a little deep hole. You don't know what's under the water, but I know I want to get over there. I think simply winning in my life has been every step. When you cross that river, you don't just like stomp and take it. You got to make sure that thing ain't slippery down there or move. You don't want to step on a slippery rock. So every step I've taken across this river of life, I've like really made sure I'm good to take the next step. But I trust that if I'm planted, I trust my step. And so through social media, through the spending of the $300, through growing all these brands and just having Hannah, I trusted because I knew I was good at this stuff. Like some of the stuff I know I was good at. I don't think I'm great at it, but like some of the stuff I know that I'm good at, I trust that. So if I get this account for $500, I trust that one day that's going to be a $2,000 account. It's not there yet, but I think every step that you take is like making the next step. And I just know that I've already taken 10 steps. I trusted myself along the way, every single step that I took. There was some slippery rocks. There was some that were sticking out of the water. I knew if I could get to that, it would be easier. But I just use that analogy a lot because I think that's like we can all relate to it, getting across a river. Just trusting yourself every one of those steps. You're going to fall down. You stand back up and like you're going to make it to the other side as long as you trust yourself. But when you get knocked down and think this is going to be my one thing that's going to make me rich, like one really good step across this river, you fall down, like you're going to turn around and go back to this bank, or you're going to get to where you want to go to. And I don't know, I think simply winning is like, that's not giving up. That's sports. That's a coach making you keep run after you're tired. A coach saying we're not leaving practice till we hit 20 free throws. Well, it's going to be a long night if we're not hitting them. You know what I mean? So it's like, you got to figure it out. But I think trusting myself in every step. That's also been like adding people. So then I trust those people now that those steps are a little bit bigger with team. But trusting myself with every single step's been probably what I would say considered simply winning. Because people get scared. Like it's scary. It's scary as hell. Everything we're doing is scary as hell. Spending $100,000 a lunch, strawberry splash bash on
that's
Monday.
wild.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm terrified of it. If it doesn't go well, we don't have $100,000 to just not go well. But I trust that the raspberry was a good step. The lemon was a decent step. We slipped a little bit. The peach was a perfect step. So like I just trust myself. And you're not taking blind steps. I'm not just like running across this river stupidly. I did a little looking down there before I took the steps.
Did a little feel.
I did a Facebook post that said, "Do y'all like strawberries?" Everybody says yes. Okay, well, that was my. You know what I mean? Like you make smart steps, but
there's still steps.
Yeah, there's still steps.
And they might be slow steps, but you're still moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that analogy. That's like probably the best analogy I think we've had on the podcast.
That's a good visual analogy.
Yeah, because we haven't had anybody actually like lay it out like that. And if you're from the South, or the country, you know what you're talking about.
Y'all will know what he's talking about.
Y'all sweet tea. Yeah, because I was from Chicago originally, but I moved down to Southern Illinois. So when I was young, so like 6.
Yeah.
So I played in a lot of creeks and rivers and stuff. But
well, y'all, it's Monday when this is launching. Go get the new Strawberry Splash Bash if it hasn't already sold out. There's plenty of other great products, and I would highly recommend getting this bad boy so you can sit down at dinner. Have a good sized cup, jar here. Let's freaking go.
Yeah, let's go.
Dude, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Man.
Thanks
for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for making it happen. I mean, I know some of your plans fell through, but you still came up here to get on the pod, and we'll be able to cut up a lot of stuff from this and give it over to you too. I'm excited for Monday's launch.
I'm very excited.
Got a few things to wrap up for it.
Yep.
But it's gonna be good.
Yes, sir.
Sweet.
All right, boys.
That's a wrap.
See ya.
Peace.